Good evening, everybody. Welcome into Coach's Corner East here on the 19th of January, 2022. We're at the Pizza Hut in Galion, and it's going to be another edition of Galion, Colonel Crawford, and Crestline Winter Sports. I almost said fall sports. It sure doesn't feel like fall outside. Our show is brought to you in part by the Burkhart family at the Burkhart Farm Center, your Case IH dealer straight west of Galion on the Manette, New Winchester Road. Mike Kleinite at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, and Marion. And Sweet Baby Ray Jones, Davy's little brother at Ohio Door and Sash, 120 South Street in Galion. A little later on, it'll be the Crestline Lady Bulldogs basketball team and Lance Hood to talk about their recent games and still trying to find some cohesiveness and get some wins before the end of the year comes up. A little prior to that, it'll be Coach Kyle Fenner and the girls basketball program at Colonel Crawford getting a much-needed win last evening in overtime against a really solid Cary team. And we're going to tip things off with the Galion girls basketball team, head coach Shani Rush and a couple of her players talk about their game last night with Pleasant and what they have coming up here in the very near future. Show is brought to you in part by Lee Plymel, Brad Seibert at the Plymel Insurance Group, Galion and Bucyrus, North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center, North Walnut Street, across from the courthouse in Bucyrus, and Phil and Sue Schreck at Phil's Deli, just east of the Pizza Hut at the bridge here in Galion. And Shani Rush is with us tonight. Thanks so much for coming out. I appreciate it. And took a look here. I think 4-11 right now, 0-9 in the MOAC. Yeah. Still looking for that elusive first MOAC win, and kind of going back to a few, just a little over a week ago, Tuesday the 13th. Lost to Harding 62-40, and you were down 12-8 after the first quarter, 25-19 at half, and then tied at the third quarter at 35, and then it just kind of got a little bit out of hand as the Lady Presidents outscored you 27-5 in the final 8 minutes. What kind of happened in that game?
Well, we had the momentum going into the fourth, and they ended up putting the full court press on us, and we played 5 girls, and
right.
We just kind of ran out of gas. And when that happened, we got some turnovers and missed some box outs, and we didn't make our shots from that point. So
did they not press you in the first 3?
no, they pressed us. They mostly went in their 1-2-2 3-quarter court press, and we found success off of that. And then they ended up just going man, and by that time we just
with trapping in the corners and things like that.
Yeah, just gassed.
Tiana Grader led the Lady Tigers 16 points, Natalee Perkins 13, Desi Lester with 8, and Justice Steinman Ross drops 30 for Harding.
Yeah.
Well, talk about her a little bit. I know she's not on your team, but she is. You have to face her twice a year. Talk about her a little bit.
She's a talent. She's like 6'3", big body, strong. She plays like a guard, but can go and post up. She's a nice player, and we knew that. I mean, we know that she's going to get in there and score points, but we were just trying to limit it. But she was on. she was hitting everything.
Did you see improvement from the first time that your girls played them to this time?
Yes, yeah. I think right now we're playing our really good basketball. Our league is so tough.
Yes.
But our margins are getting smaller. We're closing the gap up.
Yep. And then last Saturday, lost to Clear Fork at home 62-24. You had lost to them the first time 59-22, so a very similar score. And you had 4 single-digit quarters of 8, 6, 6, and 4. Was it just tough kind of throwing it in the hole that night as well, or that afternoon?
Yeah. I mean, we played a really good first quarter, and then, really short-numbered that game. I think we didn't have any subs left by the end of the fourth. So, Clear Fork's much improved.
Sure.
They're really doing a great job this year, and their pressure got to us a little bit.
I was going to kind of save this for a little later, but it seems appropriate right now because of being shorthanded, especially in that game. One would think that you're probably a pretty well-conditioned team because the girls are out there running a ton. As you get into the later part of the season, because you don't want to see 15 games, so you get about 7 left, and then tournament. Do you start to change your practice schedule a little bit, shorten that down, condense it a little bit, to only do the things that are really, really necessary, and the conditioning stuff kind of just takes care of itself?
Yeah, I mean, our first 5 are pretty well conditioned.
I would think so.
when we're trying to save their legs,
Mhm.
they're pretty sore today, playing as much as they have this week, and, we play Shelby. So we just got in there for an hour today and shot,
Mhm.
and then we'll have a light practice tomorrow, and then go play Shelby.
Yeah, no, I kind of figured that was the case. Tiana Grader, 13 points, Cameron Eckert, 7, Natalee Perkins and Desi Lester with 2 each, and then the Lady Colts put 3 in double digits, Conrad Worthman and, Christina, with 10, so. And then last night, at home, taking on Pleasant for the first time, because that game originally was moved out, wasn't it? The first time you played them? Wasn't that supposed to be earlier?
That was River Valley.
Yeah, River
We
Valley.
always
River
play
Valley,
Pleasant
okay.
late. It's
Okay.
weird.
Yeah.
All right, so this was the first meeting though against Pleasant,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Yeah, and they were 6-5 going in, 5-2 in the MOAC. You lost 69-43. You're down by 12 at half, but got outscored in the second half 40-26, and the Lady Spartans pulled away. Again, was that kind of a just getting tired situation, or?
Yeah, first half we held their best player to 2 points, and those were free throws, and I thought we did a really good job. Our shots were just not falling in the first half. Then third quarter we came and we cut it. I think it was maybe 15 or so, and then we got a little run, but then they got a run back, and then Columbus started hitting some shots, and then it kind of just went from there.
Okay. Natalee 14, Tiana Grader 12, Desi Lester with 10, Cameron Eckert with 5, and Emma Jutes with 2. But, you talk about you're playing your best basketball right now. What do you like about what your girls are doing on the floor right now?
I like that everyone's getting the score. We're sharing the ball. We're reading the defenses a little bit better. So, that yesterday's game, everybody's in the scorebook. And, that's what we need. It just can't be Natalee and Tiana scoring all the time. It's
Yeah.
got to be, Desi's got to contribute, Cameron and Emma. So, and I think the last 2 games, we have showed that, they can score as well.
Yeah, very good. Take a break here before we talk to the young ladies around the table. Next, coming up here is one of our sponsors, Steve Kurtzman and Associates at Innovative Recycling, 352 South Street in Galion. Candy Bolin at Bolin Realty, 2 blocks west of the Uptown Galion Square. John Cross at Cross Carpet. And Custom Floors, 302 North Seltzer Street, downtown Crestline. And first up, we have Lexi Rush, a sophomore on the team, and unfortunately is lost for the season due to injury. How's the leg feeling?
It's doing pretty good.
Getting stronger?
Yeah, finally getting back to be able to do more things.
Okay. Are you allowed to do weight training on it, or
No,
they just said no go now ever, or just not right now?
not now.
Okay.
Especially not.
But at some point, can you do like what do you want to call it? The bands, the resistance bands and things like
Yeah,
that.
that's part of it.
I get a feeling you don't like doing that very well.
No.
Okay, but you allowed to run on it,
Yeah.
jump, everything. Okay. Are you participating in practice, or just still kind of watching and maybe shooting on the side at this point?
I usually shoot on the side, but if we have shooting practice, I'll get on the gun and shoot around.
Yeah, that's got to feel a little bit good to
It
be
does.
able to get out there and get that shot back, get the jump and the rhythm, because it's all about rhythm, right? When you're a shooter, you want to get that rhythm and continually doing that over and over again. And we talked about this a little bit before in the past, but I'm sure it just, you're sitting on the bench and saying, geez, Pete's mom, just put me in. I won't tell anybody, just put me in. I want to experience that. Will there be any chance that, I've seen things like this happen, and albeit you're a sophomore, you got 2 more years, that maybe you'll sneak into a game late for a quarter and doing it, and the coach is shaking her
not
head.
this year.
No, not going to even be able to do that. Okay. So, your head coach, your mother said that you're improving. You're seeing that too, that the group is improving?
Yeah, it's when I'm sitting on the bench, I see everything and I see what goes on, and from the first game, it's changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the effort that we put out, we just have become better in our skills on the court.
Yeah, that's good, and especially when gals like Natalee and Tiana, they never come out, and I'm sure the moment that you get a chance to talk to them a little bit, and they're like, sorry, I can't talk long, got to get right back in there. What are you going to be looking forward to as when the season ends and strengthening yourself up to get ready for next year?
I'm going to be looking forward to travel ball get back in it, and then just keep working from there.
Yeah, I wondered if you're going to be able to do that. Do you think
Yeah, I will.
you'll be able to ready to go
Yeah.
for that? Now, do you do anything in the spring? Any spring sports at all? Or not?
Track.
Okay. What do you do in track?
Since my injury, I probably will only throw.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, thanks for coming. Just keep getting after it. Keep that shot in rhythm, and I appreciate you coming out. It's good to see Natalee again. We're not going to be talking about bottled water because she didn't bring bottled water tonight. We're still, but it's good to see you again. I appreciate it, and you continue to get to the hole, get scoring, things like that, with the exception of what was it? Clearfork. Yeah. What happened with that?
I really don't even know. I didn't touch the ball that much on offense, and when I did, it just didn't go in. It's just one of those games. Sometimes it just happens.
Yeah. And that brings me to an interesting question, because at times I've seen enough basketball that players will command it or demand it and ask for it, and sometimes they don't get it, and other times players can have a down night or a down day and be a little passive and not ask for it. I mean, was it that kind of a situation, or you just weren't getting open to get the ball where you needed it?
I mean, it just happened that I was a lot of passing. I would just pass it and someone would shoot, or we didn't get as many shots off that game anyways. So it's just, I mean, they were playing good defense on me. They had one of their best defenders, but, you know.
Those things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're one of the top players, good teams will find a way to exploit that and take it away and say, well, you're going to have to beat us with somebody else. So
Yeah.
I get that for sure. Got an interesting game on Friday. You're going to go to Shelby. Of course, Coach said it's a very strong league
Yes.
to begin with, and we know the accolades of what Coach Natalee Lance has over there. What do you expect to see or hope to improve upon from the first time that you played them?
Well, I think we did a good job playing against them the first time. We stayed at their tempo, and we worked well as a team, got open looks and stuff. So I'm just hoping to stay at the same tempo, and I just want to use the game to prove to ourselves that we can play hard together against a team like that. And then coming into the next week, we play teams like Highland.
Right.
So it'll get us going for next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Well, I appreciate you coming out. Continued success. It's going quick. 7 more games. Have you started to think about that yet a little bit? Starting to hit home?
Sad. Senior night is on Tuesday.
Oh,
so,
it is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's not your last home game, is it?
No, because River Valley, we were supposed to play
right.
them before, but
Right.
yeah, we have 2 more.
But you're going to do it on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Wow, that's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Those are always tough situations. They're wonderful, but they're tough as well. So, well, hang in there. Keep working hard and enjoy the rest of the season that's left, okay?
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Come back with Coach Shani Rush here in just a moment. Our show is brought to you in part by Terry Gribble and Associates at your Galion Community Center YMCA. Dr. Erica Schieber at Bucyrus Veterinary Service, 222 West Mary Street in Bucyrus. Rod Steiger and Associates at Pizza Hut Galion and Bucyrus, host of our show since 1992. Luann Krebs at River's Edge Embroidery and Screen Printing, sponsor of our foam board T-shirts. And Coach Rush, as I mentioned to Natalee there, Shelby is next on your list, and you can't avoid teams like that. You just the next one up, and you go and you play them, and you got them at their place, and they're really rolling right now. They're playing really well. And kind of the same question I asked Natalee is, what are you hoping to see out of your girls from the first time they played until now?
Improvement. We want to, like I said, we want to close that gap up a little bit and just go out there and work hard. I know they're going to press us. I know, we're going to see half-court press, and and if we can, hang around and maybe give us a chance to win. You never know what can happen.
That's
sometimes. Natalee and I have a long history.
Yes.
So it's always fun to play her.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we have Highland and Ontario coming up, and so this is, we just want to play at the level that Shelby plays at.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to kind of touch on that. And you opened the door, and so I'm going to walk through it. So you do have a really nice relationship with Coach Natalee Lance. What's that like before the game, during the game, and after the game? I mean, I assume before and after are very similar, but during, it's much different probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, Natalee and I, we used to play against each other, and growing up from 7th grade on, so we coached against each other for quite a long time. So it's just fun. I mean, I always like to compete against her, and she likes to compete against me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like back in when we were in high school playing against each other, but you know, we're good friends, and we respect each other. We respect each other as coaches and as people. So I really enjoy playing with her.
There were times when Wintford and Ontario would get together in the old NCC, and there were people that told me they didn't come to see the game. They came to see Joe Baylog and Rob Sheldon go at it. Is it like that, only maybe not as animated, but do you talk during the game and joke with one another about?
Sometimes it depends, you know, what's going on.
Right.
We'll look down at each other if the refs make a bad call, and we'll like, what was that? You know?
Does it make the experience a little more enjoyable for you, even though you're competing against her and her team? It still makes it a little more fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's always nice to go visit, you know, and they're the same Shelby fans too. That's been in there since we were in high school, and
Right.
so you know, it's like a reunion.
Yeah, that's neat. What are they? Of course, they have prolific scorers and that, but do you get more concerned over their offense or their defense?
We just try to focus what we need to do. You know, we'll work on the press break tomorrow. We'll work on, you know, what our strategy for defense is. But, you know, we have to take care of our business first, and not worrying so much about what they're going to do.
Sure, good point. And then next Tuesday, you have Highland at home, 4-9 overall, 3-6 in the MOAC. Lost to them 56-30 back on the 18th of December. Not looking past Shelby, but you start to think about what you want to do against them.
Yeah, you know, I thought we could have competed a little bit better, but, you know, Natalee got in foul trouble very early.
Senior
in
night,
the
we're popping off.
first quarter. She had 3 fouls, so, and Nat needs to be on the court. You
Yeah.
know, when she's not on the court, our energy goes down, and, you know, we're losing a lot.
Sure.
So, you know, we gotta get her to stay in the game, and, I thought we held their best player, you know, under her average, and, but they hit some outside shots, and we need to make sure our closeouts are a little bit better.
Sure, very good. It's coming to a close really quickly. I think we're only going to have you on 2 more shows, and that's going to be the end of the year. It's crazy because it just seems like it just started. As the longer you get into coaching, does it seem like it goes quicker?
Yeah,
I can imagine. So,
I mean, the days are long, but
yes, the days are long, but the season's short.
Yeah.
And you have children at all kinds of different levels, so you're trying to do their things as well. And
I mean, both of my younger ones are in the youth league, and
right.
so, you know, our youth teams are doing really well.
Good,
Yeah.
good to hear. Numbers decent?
Yeah, we have good numbers. You know, my daughter plays on the 3rd and 4th grade team, and they're undefeated, and then
Good.
my other one's on the 5th grade team, and I think they've only lost 1 game, and then, so there's a promising future.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. And it's got to start somewhere. And if you can nurture that and bring that up, and a lot of girls stay with it
Yeah.
and be successful, then a lot of good things in the future for the Galion Lady Tigers. Well, thanks for coming out tonight. I certainly appreciate it. Good luck on Friday, and we'll talk soon. We'll take a break here. It'll be time for Colonel Crawford girls basketball with Coach Kyle Fenner right after this timeout.